Hello students, welcome back to a class of English. In the previous class, we discussed about Isran the storyteller. As till now, we have discussed that Isran read stories with detailed descriptions. He narrated them in the way that Mahendra recollects that he would narrate even a small incident with a lot of suspense and surprise, which made it very interesting for the listener. Then he gives an example that instead of saying that he was walking down the highway and he came across a tree which had broken and fallen on the road, Isran would use his facial expressions and bodily gestures to narrate it. He would say that the road was empty and he was all alone, and this would create suspense in the listener's mind. Mahendra adds that even though he knows that the stories were simple and interesting and it captivated him, and although he knew that some of his stories were not true, but the way in which Iswan narrated them was so interesting that Mahendra wouldn't say anything and listen to them all the stories quietly and in an interesting way. Then Mahendra recollects another story told by Isran. Then Isran said that the native village was surrounded by a huge forest and which was full of trees. The huge logs of timber were sold for commercial purposes and they were all transported onto the vehicles by elephants. And they were so huge elephant, and if they became mad they would get out of control and the Mahout wouldn't be able to tame them. This introductory session was followed by a detailed story involving an elephant. The story was narrated as one day an elephant escaped from the timber yard and roamed around the forest. He stepped on the bushes and crushed them, tore the creeper plants and broke branches of the tree which came in its way. Mahendra, whether he knew how a mad elephant behaved. In order to make his story more effective, Iswan would stand up and jump around the place, hitting his foot on the ground in order to copy the actions of the mad elephant. As the elephant reached the outer boundary of their town, it broke the fences. The fences seemed as if they were like matchsticks for the huge elephant. The elephant reached the main road and broke all the stalls selling different things like fruits, mud pots, and clothes. The people were taken unaware and so they ran here and there. Then it broke the wall of a school and entered the ground where the students were playing. All the students ran back into their classrooms and closed the doors. The elephant made loud noises and roamed around in the school ground. It broke the goalpost in the football ground, tore the net that had been put up in the volleyball court. There was not even a single person to be seen around. All the streets were empty as all the peoples were scared of the mad elephants. Eastrin told Mahendra that he was studying in one of the junior classes in the school and he was watching the elephant from the rooftop, and suddenly he took the stick from one of the teacher's hand and ran downstairs toward the school ground. The elephant made a loud noise when he saw a small boy approaching it. It lifted a branch of a tree in its trunk, hit its foot on the ground, which threw a lot of mud and dust in the air. The elephant was threatening Iswan, but the boy was not afraid of it, and with the stick in his hand, he moved towards the elephant slowly. Many people had climbed onto the rooftop of their houses and were watching the incident. They were standing still and were awestruck, waiting to see what happened next. And Iswaran saw that the elephant had red-colored eyes, which were full of anger, and it again lifted its trunk and made loud trumpet sound, and it was about to attack Iswaran. And just then Iswaran gathered all his force and hit the elephant's third toenail. Quickly the elephant was stunned at what had happened. Then it reacted by shivering all over, fainted, and fell on the ground unconscious. So this is about the second story that Mahendra recollected about the Iswan, that how beautifully he waved this story about the elephant, and how he showed that how much he was brave even at his school time, that he just hit an elephant at its third toenail and made him unconscious. Now, as he went on to narrate how he sometimes saw ghosts at night, as on that day he told Mahinda that it was a very auspicious day and some tasty delicacies would be prepared, and he did the same. But at that night, he narrated Iswaran narrated Mahendra the ghost stories, and he added, "I am not easily frightened by these things, sir. I am a brave fellow, but one horrible ghost of a woman, which appears off and on at midnight during the full moon. It is an ugly creature with matted hair and a shriveled face like a skeleton holding a fetus in its arm." So here Iswaran added that sometimes that he saw ghosts at night, and although he was not scared of them as he was a brave person, but once he saw a very horrible ghost of a woman, and it appeared on the full moon night. It was very ugly, had matted hair and a shrunken, withered face. It looked like a skeleton holding an unborn baby in its arms. Mahendra shivered at the description and interrupted rather sharply. "You are crazy, Ishwaran. There are no such things as ghosts or spirits. It is all a figment of your imagination. Get your digestive system examined and maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense." As Mahendra disliked the story and interrupted sharply, he scolded Ishwaran and said that he had gone mad. Mahendra said that ghosts didn't exist, and he became crazy and he didn't believe on his story. And he added that it was just Ishwaran's imagination. Figment means production of his mind. And he then added that and asked him to get himself checked up, to get his digestive system and his brain examined, and he was speaking nonsense. Mahendra asked him to get his digestive system checked up because when a person is suffering from constipation, he gets nightmares and dreams of ghosts and supernatural powers. He left the room and retired for the night, expecting Iswaran to sulk for a couple of days. But the next morning he was surprised to find the cook as cheerful and talkative as ever. Sulk means be silent or bad tempered because of annoyance. Then Mahendra had thought that Iswaran would remain silent, quiet for a few days as he had scolded him the previous night. But he was surprised to see a cheerful and talkative Iswaran the very next morning. From that day on, Mahendra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. Every night he peered into the darkness outside through the window next to his bed, trying to make sure that there was no movement of dark shapes in the vicinity, but he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling eyes of the factory miles away. Peered means to look outside. Peeped. And vicinity means the surrounding area, the nearby area. So from that day, Mahendra showed that he was very brave, but on the contrary, he was uneasy because of the story that Iswaran had narrated. Every night before going to bed, he peeped out of the window next to his bed to assure himself that there was no ghost around. He didn't see any ghost, but only saw darkness and the twinkling light of the factory. He had always liked to admire the milk-wine landscapes on full nights, but after hearing Iswaran's story of the female ghost, He avoided looking out of the window altogether when the moon was full. Before listening to the story, Mahendra always appreciated or admired the light watching the wide colored landscapes on the full moon nights. But as Eastern had told him that on a full moonlight, a female ghost he had seen, and this was a haunted place, he stopped looking out on that night as he was afraid of bumping into the ugly ghost on full moon night. One night, Mahendra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. At first, he put it down to a cat prowling around for mice, but the sound was too guttural for a cat. So let's have a look on the word meaning. Low moan means crying sound, and prowling means searching, and guttural means sound produced in the throat or to make harsh sound. One night, as Mahendra was asleep, he was awakened by the sound of someone crying. He thought it could be a cat looking for mice and tried to go back to sleep. But the sound became more harsh and seemed to be a human sound.